What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we have some unfortunate news or interesting news, depending upon how you're looking at it. And before we start, make sure you smash the like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. With that said, undefeated rising lightweight Mexican superstar title contender, King Ryan Garcia, 21 wins, no loss, no draws, 18 wins by way of knockout, 24 years of age, 5'10", with a 70-inch arm reach. With that said, Ryan Garcia will be making a ring return after an extensive layoff against Tagul that's scheduled to come up in this April. With that said, Ryan Garcia has confirmed what the boxing world was hoping, most of the boxing world, real hardcore boxing fans, weren't true. And that's that he's going to have the opportunity, after not proving anything, to face off for the unified titles against newly crowned unified lightweight Australian star boxer world champion George Kambosos Jr. 20 wins, no losses, no draws, 10 wins by way of knockout. George Kambosos Jr. is 28 years of age, 5'9", with a 69, 70-inch arm reach. So with that said, Ryan Garcia has been linked to a possible showdown with George Kambosos Jr. in the near future, as we know Lou DiBella, promoter of George Kambosos Jr., he's interested in the fight between Ryan Garcia and George Kambosos Jr. And we know that we heard Robert Garcia, former world champion, well-renowned trainer, he stated that Lou DiBella, he called him thinking that he was somebody else, okay? Thought that he was Robert Diaz of Golden Boy Promotions, okay? Which promotes Ryan Garcia. And so he started to explain to Robert Garcia what's going to be next and how they can promote Ryan Garcia versus George Kambosos Jr. So Ryan Garcia is going to face Emmanuel Tagoe, who's 32 wins, 1 loss, no draws, who's only fought one time in the United States. He's 5'8" with a 69-inch arm reach. That's scheduled to take place April 9th. Okay, so with that said, now Ryan Garcia, he comes out. Now the world wants to see undefeated WBC lightweight world champion superstar boxer Devin the Dream Haney, who is 27 wins, no losses, no draws, 15 wins by way of knockout, 23 years of age, 5'8" with a 72-inch arm reach. They want to see an official undisputed showdown between Devin Haney and George Kambosos Jr. But according to Ryan Garcia, because that will be for official undisputed, Devin Haney has obliged George Kambosos Jr. and willing to go to Australia as he wanted. Ryan Garcia is hesitant to go to Australia. Okay, he said that he don't know if he wants to go to Australia. Devin Haney obliged him. He said that he would love to go to Australia. Okay, he's taken every precaution possible to make it happen. Okay, everything he needs done to go to Australia to fight George Kambosos Jr., he's doing. Okay, and so with that said, he's going to get more money to fight Devin Haney, that being George Kambosos Jr., and it's historic. Okay, it's official undisputed showdown. Ryan Garcia does not have a title. Ryan Garcia has one major fight in his career against Olympic gold medalist, British star boxer Luke Campbell in his last fight, in which he was flawed in the fight. He got up and he stopped Luke Campbell, but he showed flaws in the fight. Ryan Garcia hasn't had many big fights. That's the only big fight in his career. And, ever since then, Ryan Garcia, told the world that he was going to fight undefeated 3-division world champion superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis. But he stated that he's going to knock out Tank Davis in 2 rounds, 3 rounds the most. But that never came to fruition, because then Ryan Garcia started to tell the world he was going to fight legendary 8-division world champion, iconic Filipino superstar boxer Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. But Pacquiao and his team, they let Ryan Garcia, Oscar De La Hoya know that if they keep using their name, for promotion, which is not true, they have no interest in fighting him, that they were going to take him to court. So he stopped doing that. Then he was just simply inactive. He was supposed to come back, fight Javier Fortuna. He pulled out of that fight, cited mental health issues. Then he was scheduled to fight Joseph Jojo Diaz. Then he pulled out of that fight, and Joseph Diaz ended up fighting Devin Haney, in which Devin Haney just simply outclassed Joseph Jojo Diaz. Then he stated he was going to, after witnessing Gervonta Tank Davis take on Mexican star boxer Isaac Pitbull Cruz, and Gervonta Tank Davis breaking his left hand in the 6th round, but getting a unanimous decision. Ryan Garcia, he stated that Isaac Cruz was a C-level fighter that should have been knocked out, and that he would have knocked him out. So Isaac Cruz offered his services, and he claimed that he wanted to fight with Isaac Pitbull Cruz, but again, he never made that fight happen. And now we're all the way at Tagul, Emmanuel Tagul, in April 9th, okay? But yet now Ryan Garcia is confirming, according to Ryan Garcia, he's confirming what Lou DiBella and Robert Garcia had to say about that fight being next. We heard talks of George Kambosos Jr. defending the titles against a lesser opponent, and then having a big fight with Ryan Garcia next, okay, after that. So they're having 2 interim fights and then face each other. So Ryan Garcia is facing Tagul, and then George Kambosos is going to face off against, who knows, interim fight, defend his titles, and then face off against Ryan Garcia in the future. This is what Lou DiBella had stated. This is what Robert Garcia had stated. This was being reported. And now Ryan Garcia, he confirms it. He says that he's been contacted by Dazn, and that they're not willing to put up, the money for Devin Haney to face off with George Kambosos Jr. His numbers are better than Devin Haney's. That Devin Haney has snooze fests, and that a lot of people are not interested in watching Devin Haney fight. And so they would much rather watch him fight. And so DAZN is offering him the opportunity. DAZN contacted him and Oscar De La Hoya and offering him the opportunity to face off against George Kambosos Jr. in a unification bout, okay? Because this is unification bout because the unified titles will be on the line. Not that Ryan Garcia is bringing the title to the fight. It's just a unification bout because 3 of the major belts are going to be on the line, okay? So with that said, Ryan Garcia has become the mandatory after beating Luke Campbell for Devin Haney's WBC title, and yet he told Devin Haney if he didn't get the fight with Gervonta Tank Davis, if it didn't come to fruition, he was going to entertain the opportunity and the possibility of fighting Devin Haney. Well, then he switched that and he stated that Devin Haney was boring. He doesn't get knockouts, and he didn't have much interest in fighting Devin Haney, so he was going elsewhere, okay? And then he ended up not fighting at all. We have not seen Ryan Garcia in the ring since the Luke Campbell fight, okay? And we know that even his mentor and big brother, 4-division world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, Saul Canelo Alvarez, who's now the undisputed super middleweight world champion, he stated that Ryan Garcia doesn't put much stock into his sport. He's not interested in dedicating himself, and it's a shame he's wasting his talent. We know Ryan Garcia is being viewed as, a hot commodity in the sport of boxing simply because he has 8 million social media followers, okay? Because he has a lot of Instagram followers and social media followers. So that's why people put a lot of stock into Ryan Garcia. Nothing he's done in the sport of boxing. He's never fought for a world title, never won the world title. He has one big fight in his entire career, okay? He's simply somebody that everybody's trying to hinge on as a social media star and hoping that Ryan Garcia brings a major fan base. But if you look at Ryan Garcia live gate for his fight with Luke Campbell, it did a reported $250,000, okay? So he didn't even break $500,000 at the live gate. Ryan Garcia has a lot of teenagers and young adults that are his fan base that are not interested in the sport of boxing, and nor are they paying for the sport of boxing. They're trying to turn Ryan Garcia into an actual boxing version of Jake Paul, YouTube sensation. But it's not working, okay? Because the hardcore boxing fans have no interest in Ryan Garcia, point blank and period, okay? Ryan Garcia, is seen as just making a mockery of his career. He's not committed to the sport of boxing, and he's solely getting by or his social media followers, the amount of social media followers, point blank and period. If he didn't have 8 million social media followers, Ryan Garcia would not be mentioned in anybody's conversations because he's done absolutely nothing in the sport of boxing. And now a guy that's well-renowned like Lou DiBella is looking to fight Ryan Garcia instead of making a major fight in the sport of boxing, or Dazn that's trying to just make a splash. It's no shock. Dazn, they introduced Jake Paul to the sport of boxing. Okay, they were the first ones to do it. So it's just unfortunate in the sport of boxing. So we got to see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share your videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Hi, my name is Heather the Heat Hardy, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.